So ladies and gentlemen, I am back with a video. I know it's been a while, I know, and I'll be discussing why I haven't uploaded in a while. But right now the big news is that Jason Schreier has come up with an article where he says that, Ubisoft is planning to release a new Assassin's Creed game to kind of fill its schedule. That's the exact headline. Ubisoft plans new Assassin's Creed game to help fill its schedule. And of course, it's up on Bloomberg. I will link it down in the description below and maybe in a pinned comment. But the essence is that this is a small scale game. Obviously, this was supposed to be an expansion for Assassin's Creed Valhalla that they are now making standalone. So this is going to be maybe a small $40 game. And it's going to focus more on stealth, on more traditional Assassin's Creed elements. And it's going to feature Basim as a protagonist. And to all of that, I have to say, yes, and definitely yes. These are three things that I wanted from Assassin's Creed, and pretty much I'm getting them. Now, what do I think about this leak? Now, this is done by Jason Schreier. If this was a random 4chan leak, I wouldn't have believed it, and I wouldn't be making a video about it. This is a very credible leak. This guy has leaked virtually every Assassin's Creed game, virtually every Ubisoft game. Like, forget Assassin's Creed, every Ubisoft game. Now, when it comes from a source like that, you have to believe it. There is no chance. As for the game itself, I do think this is Ubisoft experimenting and sort of trying to gauge what the market is like. Like, if there is actually a demand for the older style of Assassin's Creed games. Now, there is a video which is going to come on my channel probably this week. It says that, it compares Odyssey and Valhalla and how the series should move forward, in my opinion. And you might be surprised with my opinion, but hey. So in that video, I did say that, the older style of Assassin's Creed games, they won't be as commercially viable as the modern games in today's market. And it feels like Ubisoft is going for this approach where they don't really have a huge budget for this game. Like, this was supposed to be an expansion, but they are sort of making it a standalone game on its own. So if this one takes off, like if the older fans of Assassin's Creed go for this game and they really like this game, they connect with this game, then maybe they can do these things where they can have a huge platform where they can charge the $60 for Assassin's Creed Infinity, that big, huge live service game that they are planning. And this will sort of be the other game, like the game that the fans want to play or something like that. Like, that will be the more mainstream entry, and this will be what the franchise is defined by. And so I don't necessarily see a problem with that. Actually, I don't really have a problem with Odyssey or Valhalla's structure. Like, when I say structure, I mean like the RPG structure. I think they need to improve a lot to make it a good RPG. And if they want to go down that route, I would much rather have a split approach where we still get what we want in games like these, where there is a shorter scope, the story is shorter and more focused, and of course the gameplay is more around stealth. Maybe parkour will make a return. And also, we still get that big smashing RPG, and hopefully we get a really good RPG out of Ubisoft, which hasn't really happened so far, but fingers crossed. So we do get a good RPG out of Ubisoft, and it's a win-win situation. Like, you still get two good games in this franchise. So I don't see this as a negative per se. As for the game itself though, I will say temper your expectations. Like, yes, when you look at this and when you look at all the things that are said about this leak, it's very easy to get carried away. Oh, Assassin's Creed is back, this is going to be the older style of games. I would say not really. Because you have to remember this was supposed to be an expansion from Valhalla. So realistically, what you will get is the gameplay from Valhalla, only slightly modified, slightly tuned more towards stealth. Maybe the mission design is geared towards stealth. But you are not going to get the Unity style parkour or the older game style parkour or the older game style social stealth systems. I do not think they are really going to push that hard for these sort of systems. I may be wrong, maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see it happening that much. So to that end, I would say temper your expectations. This is just going to be an expansion for Valhalla. Maybe they weren't able to incorporate this entire thing into Valhalla itself because of the rather broken nature of Valhalla, so it's better if they are doing it standalone. That way they don't have to, rely on Valhalla's existing gameplay systems. So it does speak to me that maybe they are doing that. And if they are doing that, then maybe the stealth will be improved. Maybe there will be some mechanics that will be improved. But I do not expect like it's going to be a smashing success. And I do not expect it's going to just rush back and bring all the older Assassin's Creed elements. But I do think this will be a sort of a good way to gauge the market for Ubisoft. Like, are people still interested in this? I am sure people are still interested in this. Like, I am interested in this. I know a lot of people who are interested in this. But majority of people I know from are online. Like, a lot of the player base isn't really online. And you have to consider that as well. Like, most people don't care about Twitter fights. Most people don't care about the story of the franchise. Most people just care about playing a good game. And for them, if it is a good game, it is a win-win situation for Ubisoft. Because now they can go for a model where they can sell the big budget, RPG to everyone. Like, they can expand the scope of that. They can actually make a good RPG and they can, attract other players to that RPG. And meanwhile, they can also have games like these in between where the fans who are really wanting the older style of games, they can really come back to the franchise and really enjoy what they love. And we all are paying them money anyway, so it's a win-win situation for them too. And these sort of things, they are not going to be very big budget. So from all of these perspectives, it does make sense for Ubisoft to do this. And also, I do believe Ubisoft really is trying to do this, because if you remember what they did with the Splinter Cell announcement, they made it absolutely clear that this is not going to be some live service, open world, online platform garbage. It's going to be a very linear experience like the older Ghost Recon games were. Sorry, Splinter Cell games were, so my bad. So, in that sense, yes, it is a very good deal, in my opinion. But I'll have to wait and watch. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is the game that is definitively going to bring the older style of Assassin's Creed games back. Because I do not think it will. But if it's a better Valhalla, if it's a more Assassin's Creed style of game, then yeah, why not? Like, I will definitely be looking forward to this. And I will say this. I am more hyped for this than I am for Dawn of Ragnarok, which I have decided it's not worth the $40 asking price. So I will not be playing it. I will probably look up some YouTube videos or some shit about the story, but I will not be playing it. Anyway, that brings about the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, then consider pressing that like button and also do subscribe to my channel. And now coming to the reason why I haven't uploaded in a while. Look, the reason being, I mean, it shouldn't really come as a news, but if you have been looking at my channel, it has stalled. And I can't say that I wasn't demotivated by that fact. In fact, that was one of the primary reasons why I just said, like, fuck it. I just don't care anymore. Now, I'm still trying to get some of my motivation back, but it is difficult because for me, I am like that. If I hit even a small roadblock, sometimes if I get discouraged, it's very difficult for me to jump back in. So I'm trying my best here. I will come back. And also, I did have other stuff to do. Because my college exams are nearing, we still don't have an official announcement, but I just gave a mock test today, and we also had other things to do because we had journals to submit, which I did, and took some effort, and I still have one journal remaining, so I still have to do that. But of course, this was a big news, and this is not exactly the news that came out today, it was more yesterday. But I still felt like, you know what, this is still new enough to the point where I should put out a video on this because this is what I do on this channel. So thank you guys for sticking with me and thank you guys for watching this video. If you did watch it, do let me know down in the comments below. What do you guys think? Are you excited with this announcement? Are you disappointed with this announcement? Were you expecting something else? And with all that said though, I will leave you guys in peace.